Whether you're creating a website, a presentation, an infographic, or maybe a header for an email marketing campaign, graphics play a crucial role in improving engagement. Now, if you're anything like me, I can write copy for maybe a website or a social media post. That's not a problem. But I'm not a graphic designer, so whenever I try to create some kind of graphics, it either takes a really long time because, to be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing, or it's just not possible at all to create something that's good enough quality that I feel that I can include with that content. So today I'm going to show you how to quickly create effective graphics using an online app called Canva. I'll show you how to create a design from scratch or using one of the many built-in templates. I'll show you how to add your own background, text and graphics, how to group them and manipulate them together or separately, and finally how to download your design so that you can include it in your content. Because Canva is an online application, you can use it in Windows, Linux or Mac OS. But before you start, you will need to sign up on the website for a free account, and I'll put the link in the description below. So here in the Canva app there are two different ways that we can create a new design. The first is I can come up to the Create a Design button, and here we have different options for different kinds of things that we might want to create. So whether it's a brochure or a desktop wallpaper or a business card, for instance, you can choose from that list. The other way is to search here for maybe a template that you're looking to create. So for instance, you might want to create a YouTube thumbnail, so you just type that in here, and you can see it will come up with the different kinds of thumbnails that you can create. Now I'm just going to click YouTube thumbnail. You can see that we have the correct dimensions for the project here, and it will come up with a whole list of templates that we could potentially choose from. I'll just scroll down there so you can see the kinds of things that Canva offers. So different designs, different types of YouTube channel, of course, and you can see that you might find something there that you would like to use. But for this project, I'm going to create a design from scratch, so I'm going to click Create a Blank YouTube Thumbnail. So the first step is to decide what our background is going to be. So I'm going to come down here to the toolbar on the left-hand side of the screen and click Background, and here we have various different options. You can see here there are various pictures and patterns that I can choose. Some of them are free to use and some of them require Canva Pro, so you would need to pay for a subscription. Now I'm going to create here, of course, a YouTube thumbnail, so I'd like to find something that kind of fits the branding for Windows Business Weekly. So I'm going to try and find something that's a dark blue, but also a dark blue with some kind of gradient. So hopefully if I keep scrolling down, I'll find something, and you can see this looks like a pretty good option, and it's for free, so great. So I'm going to add that there as my background. Now the next thing that I want to do is add me to the thumbnail, because in general with YouTube thumbnails, a picture of a person helps to increase engagement. Now to add your own photographs to Canva, all you need to do is come to Uploads, and you have various options here for uploading media. So you can upload it from the local device, you can choose images from Facebook, Google Drive, Dropbox, etc. I have an image already uploaded from the local device, and all I have to do is drag it onto my canvas here. So I'm just going to position it. I'm going to position it down in the bottom left-hand corner here and resize it like this. So the next thing is to maybe add some text elements to the thumbnail. So all I'm going to do here is click on text on the toolbar, and again, of course, we've got various different options. There are various stylized pieces of text that I could add, and I can scroll down. Again, some of them are free, some of them are not. So it depends on what kind of design you would like for your graphic. But I'm going to keep it fairly simple, and I'm just going to add a heading. So this video is called Canva Tutorial, and I'm going to bring that up to the top of my graphics here, and I'm just going to select it, and I'm going to increase the size of the fonts. Let's maybe bring it up to 64. maybe a little bit bigger, 72, Canva tutorial. So I'm going to add some more text. So I'm going to say as well, what do I want people to know? So quickly create, and let's have another text box, effective graphics. So I'm going to reposition those two text elements and just make the boxes a little bit smaller so that they're easier to move around and position. Let's make it a little bit smaller maybe than our Canva tutorial. So what's that? 64. Let's make that 64 as well. And to make those pop out from the background, I'm going to put a shape behind them. So I'm going to click Elements, and then I'm going to click Square, and I'm just going to resize that so that it fits here behind Quickly Create. And I'm just going to click Control-C and Control-V to copy that. I'm going to select it and then send it backwards so that the text sits on top. Just make it a little bit bigger. Just resize it there just a little bit so it fits nicely. And I think I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to select these two items, so the effective graphics text and the box behind it. Just using the mouse there by dragging over the elements. And if I right click, I can now group them together. And what that allows me to do is to manipulate this as one item. So the text and the box behind it move together. And I'm going to do the same with Quickly Create. So I'm going to select those two elements, right click and select group. And again, I can now move those around as if they are one item. So how am I going to make this look a bit more interesting? So I think that I'm going to push my image just over a little bit to give me a bit more screen real estate for my text. And maybe I'm going to rotate Canva tutorial just so that it's at a slight angle. And it's going to move that there. I'm going to move this up a little bit, and I'm going to right click here and send it backwards so the edge of my face there is just sitting over the text box so it looks a little bit better. And what else am I going to add? I'm going to add another picture that I have. If I click on Upload Media, I'm going to come to my project folder here, and here I have the Canva icon, and you can see that's now uploading. And now I can drag that onto my design. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Let's just resize it. And I think that looks pretty okay. I can just overlap it there with the box for effective graphics. Or maybe what I can do is I can just move all of this up a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks better. Not so cramped. And line that up in the middle there. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. One thing that I would like to do is maybe just select this text and apply an effect. So if I come to effects here, there are various different things that I can do with it. I can put a lift onto it. You've got a shadow there that's a bit more blocky looking. I don't want to do that. Or maybe the neon effect. I really like the neon effect, but I don't want it to apply to the entire text. So I'm just going to set that back to none. So what I can do is I can delete graphics, and I can put another text box in there, add a heading, graphics. The size was 64 if I remember correctly, so let's set that to 64. Just make the text box a bit smaller, and let's ungroup this so I can manipulate the text separately. And I'm going to click that now. I'm going to set that to neon. Yep. And I think that gives the whole thing just a little bit of a lift. So I'm just going to use the left and right keyboard arrows there just to get a bit of fine positioning on those elements. I'm not quite sure I like the way that sits over my ear. Okay, so I think that looks okay. So I've managed to position all of the elements. I think I'm happy with that. But I'd like to add something else now just to break up the image a little bit, just to make it a bit more interesting. So I'm going to add a square. And I'm going to bring that off to the side here, make it a bit bigger. I'm going to twist it around like that. I'm going to do this, Again, just make it a little bit bigger so that it sits off to the side. So we've got that line coming in at an angle. Let's bring it up like this. Okay, I'm going to send it backwards. Send it to the back so that it's sitting right at the back. And maybe I'll just change the transparency there, and I think that looks pretty good, I would say. Now, of course, you could also bring in lots of different kinds of elements here, not just shapes. You've got things like frames and stickers and charts and grids, all different kinds of things. All different kinds of things that you could bring in dependent on the kind of graphic that you want to create. You can also search, so for instance, I don't know, computer, and it'll show you everything that it has that matches that label, and you can bring that in if you want. Maybe as we're doing something for Canva, I'll put like design, I don't know, let's see what it comes up with. And you've also got the option here to create videos, and of course if you're creating a video you might want to add some music to it. But now we're going to export this, so I'm going to click download, and all I have to do is decide what kind of file I want to export. So let's stick with PNG. And do I want it to have a transparent background? No. I don't want to compress it, let's keep it at a very high quality, and I'm going to click download, and you will then see in a few seconds that appear in the browser window, and I can download it to my project. So I'm going to save that as thumbnail, and that's saved. You've also got the option here to add notes to a project if you want, or simply duplicate the page if you want to create something similar. You can just start with this and use it as like a template if you like, or you can create a blank page. There are also some other things that you can do here, like you have integration with different systems. So for instance, you might fetch a logo from Brand Fetch instead of going to the website and downloading it like I did. Or you can connect to Flickr if you want some stock photography, or even YouTube if you want to import some video. So you've got various different app integrations that are available there. You can also apply effects to photographs. Now this is only available in Canva Pro. You can remove the background from a photograph. I already did that with this in a different application, but you can do it right here in Canva if you like. And there are various other effects that you can apply to your photographs if you like. And all the usual tools that you would expect, like applying different kinds of filters like you find on Instagram, different adjustments like the brightness, contrast, blur, that kind of thing, to get some really cool effects. You can also crop the image, I'm not going to do that, or you can flip it vertically or horizontally if you want to change the orientation on your canvas. If you want to try Canva Pro, you can have a free 30-day trial there, and you can see there are lots of benefits to signing up for that. The Pro version of Canva costs $12.95 a month for up to 5 people, and you get things like a brand kit, more templates and premium stock photographs and elements, and you can save your designs as templates and even 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. If you want to access your existing designs, things that you've already worked on, you can access them here under all your designs on the homepage. If you like the content in today's video, then please give it a thumbs up. I think that what really differentiates Canva from applications like PowerPoint, which in principle you could use to do everything that I showed you today, is that it's fun to use. So give it a try and let me know what you think about it in the comments below.